For over half a century, it has been more than a sculpture. It has been a witness, a landmark, and a voice in the public space.
For me, a sculpture is one way to say what I have to say, and I'm not there to please nobody. This is why my job is to disturb the people. It's because I always give the maximum what I have inside of me, and I never make once a compromise since I start in life, I should say.
In the late 1960s, Canadian sculptor Armand Vaillancourt was selected through an international competition to create a monumental fountain at San Francisco's Embarcadero Plaza. The commission was part of a visionary public space initiative led by renowned landscape architect Lawrence Halprin, whose work shaped many of the most beloved modern parks and fountains across the United States. Ironically, while some of Halprin's projects are protected and celebrated in other cities, his legacy in his own hometown of San Francisco remains vulnerable. It was a time of great upheaval and hope: the civil rights movement, anti-war protests, counterculture, and a flourishing of public space as a site for encounter and transformation. Before even arriving in California, Vaillancourt was already pushing the limits of public art. At a sculpture symposium in Toronto, he built an open-air foundry in a public park and began casting multi-ton metal sculptures, one of the boldest artistic gestures of its time. That project, though never assembled, was a precursor to what would become the Vaillancourt Fountain. From 1967 to 1971, Armand lived in San Francisco to oversee every step of the fountain's construction. He demanded that the foundations be deep and strong, designed to withstand earthquakes. He insisted on high-performance white concrete that would reflect light and harmonize with the surrounding cityscape. The result was not just a sculpture, but a living space of water, movement, and presence.
Je veux travailler cette sculpture-là qui est très, très basse. Elle a 175 pieds de long, par près de 100 pieds de large, par jusqu'à 35 pieds de hauteur. Alors, je dois travailler avec des formes qui seront coulées en béton et en fonte, avec des jets d'eau. En fait, je trouve ça très passionnant. Les architectes de San Francisco sont bien emballés.
The fountain is not only meant to be observed from a distance. It invites you to walk through it, over it, to hear it. It was designed to be shared, a place to gather, reflect, and connect. Its geometry evokes natural forms, the rhythm of cliffs, erosion, cascading rivers. It has weight, but also grace. Above all, it was created to be accessible, inclusive, and alive. Vaillancourt's commitment to justice was not separate from his art. During the occupation of Alcatraz by indigenous activists, Armand offered his studio as a safe haven after they were evicted from their organizing space.
Get rid of the Indian. If you touch one of them, la sculpture, oubliez-moi ça là.
His gesture of solidarity, though controversial at the time, reflects his lifelong belief in art as a tool for inclusion and resistance. At the fountain's inauguration, Armand made a bold statement. He entered the water and wrote Québec libre on his own work, a gesture rooted in his political convictions and in a desire for freedom, both personal and collective. In that moment, he also spoke out in support of the right to self-determination for peoples around the world who were fighting for their cultural and political autonomy. The story continued.
L'éducation que j'ai eue dans ma jeunesse qui font que j'ai eu le courage d'avoir des opinions puis de mourir pour mes opinions. Avec ça, c'est pas facile ça là. Tu veux pas à mon âge commencer à dire oh ben là j'en ai assez fait. Non, t'as rien fait encore. C'est ça que tu dois faire aujourd'hui. Fallait ou t'es un truc cul là, tu sais.
In 1987, Bono of U2 graffitied the fountain during a concert. When the city threatened legal action, Bono reached out to Vaillancourt, who came to San Francisco to publicly support the broader idea of youth expression. Not just Bono's act, but the necessity for young people to have platforms to be heard. Armand defended graffiti as a necessary outlet in a society that often leaves little space for protest, especially for those without access to conventional media or institutional voices. In the decades that followed, the fountain became a cultural landmark. Skaters turned Embarcadero Plaza into a global mecca, redefining modern skateboarding. The fountain appeared in films, music videos, video games, and art books. It became layered with meaning, not just a monument, but a canvas of lived experience. In 1989, San Francisco was struck by a devastating earthquake. The freeway that once towered behind the fountain collapsed. Yet the fountain, built with reinforced foundations and resilient engineering, remained untouched.
Mais moi, j'étais pas inquiet. 7.1, c'est quand même gros, là.
It continued to flow, a silent but powerful symbol of endurance. In surviving the quake, it became more than a work of art. It became a witness to the city's history and strength. Today, this iconic piece of public art is under threat. A redevelopment project at Embarcadero Plaza and Sue Bierman Park leaves its future uncertain. The fountain is not currently protected, and a decision will soon be made by the city's Arts Commission. This is not just about preserving a structure. It's about protecting a place where history, community, and imagination come together. The Vaillancourt Fountain is a space that has always welcomed the unexpected. It speaks of resilience, creativity, and shared memory. It's not a relic, it's alive, sometimes dynamic, sometimes contemplative, and like the city it calls home, it deserves to grow, not disappear. Help preserve the Vaillancourt Fountain. Sign the petition. Share the story.
La beauté réside dans la vérité de l'objet ou dans la vérité de la pensée. Quand tu regardes des philosophes qui ont dit des phrases exceptionnelles, tu ne demandes pas est-ce qu'ils ont voulu être gentils? Ben non, ils ne sont pas là pour être gentils. Le philosophe il est là pour regarder ce que tout le monde n'a pas le temps de faire. Moi, je fais partie de sa gang-là.